Joining me now is a friend of mine, Paul Wilson-White, and Paul's here just to talk a little bit about his work and his faith. Hi, Paul. It's really good to see you.
And you? What I do, I'm a 7 police officer. I've been in Metropolitan Police. Well, I've been in the police service coming up to 26 years. Done a few forces, Leicestershire, where I've sort of born and raised. Surrey, and then ended up joining the Met. Did Dorset for a short time, but it wasn't crime-ridden enough, so I went back to the Met. So I currently work at the Southwest Trafford Garage, basically Wimbledon. I'm what's called a GPS garage police sergeant. My job is to deal with police collisions with police vehicles and members of the public. I report those, but my main job is to deal with fatal accidents and serious incidents on the motorways and fast roads.
So, Paul, I've seen TV programmes, traffic cops, police interceptors. By what you're saying to me, it's not quite like that then, what you do.
We do have officers. Most of my team they're what's called TPAC trained. So when you see those programs, police interceptors, we do have officers who are trained to do that. But those sort of police interceptors, they are sort of specialist roles within traffic departments. But ordinarily, most traffic officers are there to basically make the road safe, keep traffic moving, and issue tickets to speeders. I'd call it the fatal four, but that is their primary role. So, like TV programs, being TV, don't want to show you the boring part of someone getting a ticket, do they? So they want to show you all the flashy bits of the fast cars. Oh, there we do have fast cars, but that is slightly different to TV.
So you, from what you're saying, have got quite a specialist role in what you do, investigating serious collisions and that sort of thing. I'm guessing it's a pretty obvious thing to say, but I'm guessing you see the worst side of life.
Yeah. I've been doing my current role coming up to 2 years now. To be fair, I was quite shocked at the amount of incidents or serious incident fatals I've seen in the 2 years I've been there. I have seen some horrendous incidents, and as I said, being a Christian, it does play with your mentality. It really does.
So that was really going to be sort of my next question. The thing to ask is, how you, as a Christian, a committed Christian, we know each other through church life, where we hear that God loves us, all of those things. How you reconcile that with perhaps some of those things that you've seen and the things you've had to deal with?
I do struggle. I really do. At times I suppose with your parents growing up, because everything happens for a reason. You're always told everything happens for a reason. But at times, some of the things you see, and you just think, if there's a reason for it, I'd like to know that reason. I really want to know, because I said some of the things I've seen, and I do get angry. I just sort of scream inside at times, even in my own car. I just shout, and you think, sometimes I don't understand. But at the same time, you still have to believe, because that God is there, God is looking after us. And I think my role really for the people is to help them get through things. Right. It's not just a case of going out there and reporting it. When people are in tears, people are broken, and I believe my role is to help my colleagues, but also members of the public. I feel that God's given me the role to protect other people.
And how do you make sense of, we hear so much and we know about a God that loves us, and yet you're seeing the very worst of what goes on in life, particularly fatal RTCs and those things you're dealing with. How does that affect you? How do you make sense of that?
At times I do struggle. I'm not going to make it easy and say, well, yeah, that's happened. God's there. It's all going swimmingly well, because it's all written down. That's how it's supposed to happen. It doesn't work like that. We're human beings and we have emotions, and at times, because you question it, your faith, but again, it's only for a short time. because if you didn't believe, because you just stop doing it, you just stop working, you stop living. And we're not here to stop living, we're here to live and help each other, and that's what I believe I'm here for.
So in earlier conversations off camera, you and I have been chatting over a cup of tea, and I think the impression I get really, Paul, is that there is a cost to what you do. You're putting yourself in that place where it's the very worst moment in many people's lives, and there's a cost to what you do, and yet there's a difference you make in that. Is that kind of, am I right in saying that?
Yeah, at times you do feel like you go through the motions, you go to work, you do your job, you come back, and because no one really cares how you feel, what you're going through, or how hard you're working, and you can go away and just think, what is the point of it? Really, what is the point? And it's only when you you speak to people on the phone, or even your colleagues that walk up to you and it said, I don't need praise, I don't need an email sent from some senior management, I remember telling me how brilliant I've worked or whatever. Just a colleague or somebody saying, yeah, Skip, I really appreciate what you did yesterday. And little things like that, just because to feel appreciated in the job you do, and you think, well, yeah, again, it just makes you feel like everything's working to a plan. God give these strengths. It's like what's the footprints? It's quite a simple verse, but that sticks in my head so much.
To explain to people that watching that what footprints is, some people may not know.
Basically, God says to this person, goes, I will be with you at all times, through the good times and the bad times, effectively. But this person, when he dies and he goes to heaven, he says, well, God, you told me you'd be there with me through the good times and the bad. But I noticed at my lowest points that there's only one set of footprints. He goes, so God, tell me why, when I needed you most, you weren't there. And basically the last few lines are, my son, because at the times when you needed me most, because the only reason you saw one set of footprints, that's when I carried you. And even though I sort of well enough, it just sort of, I'm gonna cry. It just sort of sums up to me that God is there. When you're feeling upset and stressed and you feel alone, you are not alone. You are never alone. And have faith, and you will get through it. Just got to have faith.
That's great. So, a real cost to what you do. I think anyone watching this, appreciate, apart from the speeding tickets, appreciate very much what you do and the way that you're able to support people in those difficult positions. And just hearing a little bit about you and talking to you today, and how your faith, whilst at times you do question some of the things that you encounter and you see, but in amongst all of that, your faith is incredibly strong.
Yeah. I must admit, without it, I don't think I'd get through the day. I really don't. I said I don't show it all the time, but yeah, it's in my heart where it should be.
Brilliant, great. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming all the way over, meeting us. So it's a horrible day. The camera's not going to pick it up. It's a horrible day, but thank you so much for coming.
Well, thank you for allowing me actually to open up. I said I don't usually do that, so thank you to you.